through it.
Amen.
He will bring you through it. If you will, repeat after me, please. God will bring you through it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our writer is Isaiah. Isaiah is the most prolific of all of the prophets.
Yes.
What made Isaiah so unique is Isaiah wrote 66 books, 66 chapters in the book of Isaiah. And whether you know it or not, there are 66 books in the Bible. What made Isaiah so unique, each one of the chapters in the book of Isaiah is connected to one of the 66 books of the Bible. As an example, when you read chapter 1 of Isaiah, it is connected to the book of Genesis. When you read chapter 2 in the book of Isaiah, it is connected to Exodus. When you read the last chapter in Isaiah, it talks about the millennium kingdom. It is connected to the book of Revelation. And that's pretty deep right there. All 66 chapters in the book of Isaiah are connected to the 66 books of the Bible. Out of all of the prophets, none of them are as popular as that of Isaiah. You have Isaiah, Jeremiah, Daniel, Hosea, Job, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi. You have 17 prophets, but now in actuality there are only 16. Because one book is called the Book of Lamentation. And Lamentation was not a prophet, but rather it was a prophecy of the prophet Jeremiah. So you have 16 prophets, and you have one prophecy. Now, what makes Isaiah so unique, he is known for being the prophet that gives consolation. He is always giving comfort to Israel, and he gives comfort to everybody that read his words. And ladies and gentlemen, he's giving comfort today to us in 2021. Listen to what he says. Have thou not known? Have thou not heard? The God, the creator of the ends of the world, he fainted not. In 2021, there's a whole lot of things that we see that are making us get weary. And there's a lot of things we see causing us to faint. We are weak, we are under stress because of house notes, car notes, going from one funeral to the other. Our children, our grandchildren, we see socialism, we see prejudice, we see injustice, we hear about shootings every day. It's a whole lot of things that's stressing us out. Because of stress, we're losing weight, we're gaining weight, we're laying in bed, we can't sleep, we sit down at a table and we can't eat. It's a whole lot of things that are stressing us out. But Isaiah writes to let us know today that you don't have to be worried about being stressed out. He said even the youth shall be weary. Even young folk will be stressed out. He said, but you don't have to worry about that there. He says, because no matter what you're in, God is going to carry you through it. Now I want you to repeat after me one more time. God will carry you through it. Now there are three things that God is going to carry us through. And you might want to write these down. I know you've been hearing about this passage for a long time. But there are three things God will carry us through. Number one, God will carry us through the rigors of life. The rigors of life. Secondly, God will carry us through the races of life. When we are running through life, when life have you in a rat race, he will carry you through the rigors of life. He'll carry you through the races of life. And then finally, he will carry you through the routine of life. And ladies and gentlemen, you are either in one of these places right now. Right now, your life is rigged. Right now, your life is like a race. Or your life right now is a regular routine.
Yeah.
So now, preacher, how will God carry us through the rigors of life, the races of life, and the routine of life? God says when you get into the rigors of life, write it down, you will soar like an eagle. The word is soar. You will soar like an eagle. That's why he says you'll mount up on wings like an eagle. He'll let you soar like an eagle. But then secondly, when you get to the races of life, he says you'll run and not get weary. So that means not only will you soar like an eagle, but you will have a surge. He will give you a surge. If you don't know what a surge is, that's power. That's increased power. He'll give you supernatural power so you can surge through the races of life. And then finally, when you get to the routine of life, he will enable you to walk through life step by step. Because he says you should run and not get weary. You will walk and faint not. God will allow you to go through the routines of life step by step. Now, look at it one more time. When you look at the rigors of life, that means the adversities of life, the tough times of life, things that happen that you didn't foresee, things that you didn't plan on happen, unexpected death. Lost my job. I went through that last year. Last year, 1 month, my brother died. 3 months later, my father died. 4 months later, my granddaddy died. Within 9 months, I lost my only brother. I lost my biological father and my biological grandfather. Now, I know you're saying, but you're a preacher. That ain't got nothing to do with it.
Right.
You don't think preachers don't hurt?
Right.
You don't think preachers can have their hearts broken?
Right.
I tell you what, let God take your dad.
Right.
Let God take your brother, your sister, your mama, your grandma. You tell me you wouldn't hurt? So there's a hole in my heart, and even right now it's taking time, Pastor, for it to heal.
Right.
And so this is what I mean. Some things happen that you don't expect. But the good thing is, what other folk drown in and get bogged down in, God will enable you to soar. He enable you to not faint in it, but to fly. To fly above it. You will soar like an eagle. But then secondly, the races of life, he'll give you a surge, a burst of energy, supernatural energy, so that you can surge through the races of life. Now, I don't have to tell you that we live now in a rush society where everybody is in a hurry. Fast food. The reason why you buy more gigabytes for your computer, because you want them to pull up information real fast. Come on, talk to me again. The reason why you got your microwave oven in your house, because you want your meal prepared instantaneously. Am I right about that? There used to be a time when they had an old car, you have to stand out there and turn it, the crank to get it started. You just go there now, you ain't got to put the key in, just go there and push the button. And it started right up. You want it instantaneously. Everybody seemed to be in a rush. Look at the rushes of life. Facebook rush, Instagram rush, Everything seems to be in a rush. Folk want to meet people in a rush. They want to go out on a date in a rush. And next thing you know, they jumping in bed with them in a rush. And everything seems to be now in a rush. In a rush. On the highway, folk blowing their horn and bumping and beeping. You ain't got time to wait at a red light. Because you want to do it in a rush. You call your beautician. How quick can you get me in? How fast can you get me done? Y'all talk to me if you can. You know, things done in a rush. And we have deadlines that we have to meet. But God says, I will give you the surge so that when you're in the races of life, I'll help you get there on time, Dennis. Matter of fact, he may not come when you want him, but how many of y'all know he's an on-time God? He's on time. So now in the adversities of life, he will allow you to soar. In the races of life, he will give you a surge. But when life brings you down, where you have to just walk through the routine of life, he will walk with you step by step. Now this is where I am. I don't know if you are the first one. I don't know if you are the second one. But this is where I am in my life. Leitra, Papa Bennett, this is where I am right now in life. God got me walking through life step
by step. To deal with it.
By step. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring.
Deal with it, Bishop.
So I'm just walking step by step. Every time the phone rings, I don't know what message is going to be on the other end. I'm just walking through it step by step. Seems like every time the phone rings, you heard she died, you heard he died. What we calling it in ICU right now, they get ready to pull the plug on such and such. You don't know what's going to happen when somebody calls you now. You have to walk through it step. I wish y'all wake up. Step by step. Every time you open up your envelope or go to your mailbox, you don't know what letter you're going to get. Step by step. They told us this shot was good enough. Then they said that shot was good enough. Now they say you need to get a booster shot. We don't know what's going to happen. We just walking through life step by step. I'm afraid to go outside at night in the evening because bullets are breaking the air like mosquitoes. And bullets are hitting innocent people. Violence is all around us. But through this world, we're walking step by step. So God says here, no matter where you are in life, if you are in the adversity of life, he says, I'm going to let you soar like that of an eagle. He says, if you are in the race of life, dealing with the necessities of life, I'm going to enable you to surge like that of an athlete. But if life has put you where you're just walking day by day, where you're taking it one step at a time, God says, don't worry about that. I will be with you. Matter of fact, his promise is, go, I'm with you always. Even to the end of the world. I want people to know here today in Garland, Texas. I want you to know in Rockwall. I want you to know today in Rowlett. Whether you're in Plano, whether you're in Richardson, whether you're in Dallas, whether you're in Cedar Hill, whether you're in Mesquite. Maybe you feel like giving up. And you feel like you cannot make it. But I want you to know today God has already promised that he would be with you. I'm thinking about what David said. He said, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, he said, I will be with you. And not only will I be with you, but I'll go with you all of the way. And I close today by saying the promise is we're gonna come through it.
Yeah.
We're gonna come through it, even if we have to fly over it.
Yeah.
We're gonna come through it,
Yeah.
even if we have to run through it.
Yeah.
You're gonna come through it, even if you have to walk through it, one step at a time. So what is the outline today? The outline is, in this life, you will have the promise of stress. Secondly, you will have the provisions for your situation. But the good news is, you have the promise of supernatural strength. And the promise is, he will give you supernatural strength. Because every day, I'm getting a little bit stronger. Every day, I'm getting a little bit stronger. I'm better than I was yesterday. I'm better than I was last week. And I'm going to be better next week than I am today. Be not dismayed, whatever betide. God will. I think I hope a little while. God will. God will take care of you. When you just point at somebody and tell them, God will. God will. God will take care of you. Goodbye, y'all. I said you will. God will. He will. Do you know it? Do you know it? Do you know it? Let me hear you today. You're going to come through it. Whether you have to fly over it, whether you have to run through it, or whether you have to walk through it, one step at a time. I told y'all about my best friend having his 2-story house and his cars now. But what I didn't tell you 2 years ago, he was in a one-room apartment. I said a one-room apartment. One-room apartment. He had a wife, and they had a little girl, my goddaughter. They was in a one-bedroom apartment. That means all 3 of them was sleeping in the same bedroom. Is that the truth? That was 2 years ago. Now, 2-story house, 5-bedroom, double-car garage, 4 new vehicles, got his own business, she got her own business. I'm waiting on somebody to say, can't go and turn around. He was in a one-bedroom apartment 2 years ago. Look at where he is now. So don't laugh at people when you see them starting out. Let me hear you say, you don't know what God gonna do. Come on now, you don't know what God is gonna do. Did anybody need this message